What's up, everyone? This is Dayv Doberne, aka Sunyveil. It's been a while, but we're going to continue our quest for a Tier 1 deck, starting off from scratch and not spending any money. Unfortunately, the audio got messed up in my last video, so it might not be that much fun to watch. I'm going to post it anyway, but I'm not quite sure what happened there. Anyway, this should be working well. Anyway, we'll see what we get. I guess we finished the season ended, so we got a few extra bonus packs from placing in silver or maybe gold for draft. And I don't know where we were in ranked. We couldn't have been that far. I guess we weren't placed high enough in ranked to get any rewards. Anyway, so let's go ahead and crack those packs. We've got some serious quests going on here. Should probably try to figure out how to complete those. Stronghold Visage, yeah, that's just going to get dusted. And General is all you also. Endurance, and this is Curses, okay. Alright, well, oh, and then we can also save up enough gold in order to play Jack's Bounty, but I don't think that's absolutely necessary. So we're just going to go ahead and draft again. We might have another video after this if we don't have enough gold to draft after that, where we will do something other than drafting. But if you can, the more you can draft, the quicker you can accumulate cards. Anyway, here, I think that Champion of Chaos is an easy pick. None of these uncommons are particularly strong. Mirror Image can be okay, but it's not like, it doesn't jump out at me. And same thing with all these commons. There's nothing too insane here. Argentport Soldier is pretty good, but not something I want to pick over Champion of Chaos. And we do have a quest that requests us to be Stone Scar, so this might be a nice pickup for us to complete that quest also. Okay, so now we can follow it with Cabal Recruiter, Recon Outlaw, or Execute. And I think all of these cards are good, but Outlaw is probably the best card that you can have, one of the best 2-drops you can have in Fire. And if you're in Stone Scar, I think it's the second best behind Obsidian Golem. So I think we're going to be picking up the Recon Outlaw and looking to be some sort of aggressive deck. The Recruiter's okay, but I think it's better when you're in Feln and you have ways of sneaking it through. And I think Execute is really shines when you are playing a Flyers deck. So we're going to take the aggressive threat in Outlaw, and we're going to get rewarded by either another Outlaw or a Rapid Shot. Both these cards are very good. Geez, do I have to... Okay, go through all those tips again. I think that Rapid Shot's just a little bit better. A lot of the times with the Stone Scar decks, you're investing heavily into aggressive units, and Rapid Shot helps blow apart blocks. So as good as Recon Outlaw is, I think a Rapid Shot is actually better. And if you ever get this on Champion of Chaos, it's just absolutely disgusting. Okay, and now we can follow that up with the Smuggler Stash. Will be a good, which will be a good late game card. Torrent to Spiders isn't bad either, but I think Smuggler Stash is a little more consistent and a little more deadly. That pun not intended, by the way. Okay, we'll follow it up with a Thorn Beast here. See if we can get some synergies. And we're pretty happy with the way our deck is looking so far. We've got a bunch of really good cards and a couple of okay cards. And we're going to follow it up with another really good card in Flame Blast. The Grenadine Drone would be nice, but I think that Fire is pretty far open. This is a really good card, and you should take it highly when you're in Fire. Okay, we get that Grenadine Drone we were looking for, which will be good with the Ravenous Thorn Beast. This pack, there's a Magma Javelin, which is nice, but Obsidian Golem, I think, is the #1 2-drop we can get. So we are really getting hooked up here with the aggressive Stone Scar deck. This is an interesting pack. There's a Desperado and a Blood Beetle. I mean, Desperado, if you can get it through, is really strong. But Blood Beetle might be a little better. It's just a little more aggressive. The stats on Desperado aren't particularly exciting. On the other hand, I think that it's scary enough that it's probably worth taking. Blood Beetle can be a bit embarrassing at times. We'll take the Acolyte here, a perfectly playable card. And 2 more cards that are in our factions, even if they're not fantastic. Okay, now we have Bladekin Apprentice or Stone Scar Maul. And I think both of these are very good. Again, we're getting very good cards for this Stone Scar deck. The Maul would be one of our first weapons, which we kind of want for the Smuggler stash, but I think that Bladekin Apprentice is just too strong a 2-drop in order to pass up. I feel like sometimes you can feel a little weak at the 2-drop slot when you're playing Stone Scar, but Bladekin Apprentice is great. Alright, we've got Madness, Combust, and Ornate Katana. All of which I think are reasonable. I think Katana goes best with some of the cards we have, like the Outlaw and the Bladekin Apprentice. Both love the Katana because it helps pump the unit. There's also a Combust, which is really nice as removal. And there's a Madness, which tends to be pretty good in this type of deck, where you're sacrificing your own units. But I think it's a step behind Combust or Katana. I don't really have great synergies with Combust. I've got the Grenadin Drone. The rest of these I'm not too interested in. Sacrificing Obsidian Golem's acceptable, but not... I don't know. I guess it's okay. Yeah, I guess I'll just take the removal. Katana's good. If we can get more of those, we'll accept them happily. We're going to get a Lethrai Ranger here, which is another great aggressive 2-drop. So pretty happy with where things are going, and we get to follow it up with an Oni Ronin. There's also an Execute here, but Execute is difficult when you're being aggressive. It can kill like flyers, but units with endurance, blockers, it has trouble with. So we're just going to take the Oni Ronin, keep on being aggressive. Take the Rampage here. It's a nice trick, especially with these quick draw units. Champion of Chaos. We have a Sidearm here, which is pretty good. We also have a Javelin. I think both of those are pretty reasonable. I think I'm going to take the Sidearm. Like, this is pretty good on Oni Ronin. It's very good on Champion of Chaos. It's very good on Desperado as well. Magma Javelin's just kind of okay. It's like a mediocre to bad removal spell. So I'm going to take the Sidearm. We're going to try to build a big unit. Okay, we'll take the Oni Ronin here. We are getting hooked up. There is no question about it. So I can take either the Sidearm here or the Guerrilla Fighter. I'm tempted to just take the Sidearm because it's cheaper. But we already have one. Yeah, okay, I'll just take the Guerrilla Fighter. When in doubt, go with the unit, right? And here we have a Heavy Axe versus a Temper. Actually, the Dagger with the with the Quick Draw units we have might be worth considering. Like if you put this on a Bladekin Apprentice, that's pretty insane. All these cards are like somewhat playable in our deck, which is pretty ridiculous. Right, I don't think Heavy Axe is the answer. I think it's either the Dagger or the Temper, and I think I'm just going to take a Temper, because I don't have one yet. Alright, here we don't have anything. Sharpshooter this late, jeez. That is a gift. Spiked Helm. And we get a Rebel Illuminator here, that seems good. There's also a Lethrai Ranger, which is very powerful, but I think Rebel Illuminator is just so much... value, guaranteed value, that's hard to pass up. There's also an Oathbook in this pack. There's a bunch of good... This pack's actually really strong. There's an Oathbook and a Destroyer, both of which... this card's insane, obviously. And the Destroyer is a card that we would normally be pretty interested in taking, but we'll just take the Rebel Illuminator here. And here we get a Rebel Sharpshooter. I think that's an easy take here. Alright. And then we get an Outlaw or Ronin or Piercing Shot. I think all of these cards are very good. I think that Outlaw is probably the best because of the number of ways we have to pump our units. Just Quick Draw can be really annoying, so I'll take that. It just brawls so much better than the Ronin. Piercing Shot would be nice, but I think we take that while we can. And then we can follow it up with an Acolyte, which is one of the best cards to follow up a Outlaw with. Here, we're not too interested in the cards. Rally might be okay with the amount of quick draw we have. The Sharpshooters work well with it. The Outlaw works well with it. Even the Bladekin Apprentice works well with it. There's also a Spirit Drain, which is a bad removal, or Recano Batter in case we wanted to splash something down the line. I guess I'm kind of short on removal, so maybe I'll just take the Spirit Drain. I think it's unlikely that we're playing it, but I think it was unlikely that we were playing any of those. Okay, so Cobalt Monument's really good. We can't take it here. We'll take the Sidearm. But this is by far the best card in the pack, and I'm sad that we won't be able to get. We don't need a 6/4 or a Scheme, so let's go ahead and take that. Not really taking any of the, or interested in the cards in this pack either. Alright. Alright, Amethyst Monument is reasonable. It's not terribly exciting, but it does serve a purpose in being either a unit or a power. Okay, I think I'm going to take the Rally here. I don't think this is a frontline Cyclops deck. I think we are playing out inexpensive units and trying to buff them rather than like trading with our opponent and then dropping a 6/6. So I'm going to take the Rally. And ooh, we get a Combust here. I don't know if we're going to be able to play multiple Combusts, but and we got a gift in that Stone Scar banner. Anyway, but we're certainly playing at least one. Okay, so we got a Smuggler Stash here and a Piercing Shot. Jeez, this draft has just been an embarrassment of riches from the get-go. We've gotten every single like 2-drop we could have wanted, some good 1-drops, a bunch of really powerful cards, and we even have a Bomb and Champion of Chaos. So yeah, I expect good things from this deck. Now we're in our last pack. You know what? If I'm playing sidearms, if I'm playing like multiple sidearms, I could just take Smuggler's Stash. That's going to be way better than the Piercing Shot. Piercing Shot's pretty good, but if I can just like throw my units at my opponent and make them trade for them and then stash them back, I think that's a pretty good winning line. Here we get either a Grenadin Drone or a Stone Scar Maul. I mean, Drone is good with Combust, but I don't think I can pass up the Maul. Like, this is really good. This is basically Obliterate. And especially if you're being aggressive, this can do a lot of damage to your opponent. And we can even get it back with the Smuggler Stash. And it can serve as removal. Alright, this pack's interesting. There's a Golem, a Slumbering Stone, Soul Collectors, Rebel Sharpshooter. Any of these 4 cards are playable in our deck. I think Soul Collector's the least consistent, so that's the one I'm least interested in. I think I'm just going to take the Obsidian Golem. It's a unit when you need it to be a unit, and if you need to sacrifice it for something, you get some value off of it. Although, actually, Slumbering Stone would give us a flyer, which we have none of, and that's pretty important. So this is... yeah, okay, I'm going to take the Slumbering Stone. And here's why. So this is a 0/2 when you play it. This is a 2/2, so obviously Obsidian Golem's better. But Golem costs twice as much as the Slumbering Stone, and after you sacrifice it, you need to pay an additional 2 in order to get the value off it, in order to use the Obsidian Armor. And that's a lot. That's a grand total of 4. Whereas Slumbering Stone, you can just pay 1, and then after you sacrifice it, you already get the 2/2 flying. So I'm going to take the Slumbering Stone here. Okay, we could take the Thorn Beast here. There's also Pyrodept, but I don't think we're really hurting for a Pyrodept. Like, Onirunin's better than Pyrodept. We already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good 2-drops. And we could also take the Temper. We already have 1, and I don't think we're playing multiples. So we'll take the Thorn Beast in case we get more cards that we can sacrifice. There's a Madness here, but I think I can't pass up the Katana, so I'll take that. There's another Temper. There's a Chieftain, which is a very good card in these types of decks, or at least it tends to be. Especially with the amount of Quick Draw I have, I guess I'll take it. Okay, we can take the Devour here. Might not play it, but the rest of the cards are not in our faction. Ooh, Cabal Cutthroat's not bad. 2/2 Lifesteal turns out to be a pretty nice body, and there's a Xenon Destroyer here, which we're going to take. Jeez. Okay, now we get the choice of Grenadin Drone or Rebel Sharpshooter. Both are very good. I think I'm going to lean on the side of Grenadin Drone because we have 2 Combusts and 2 Sharpshooters. Sorry, and not Sharpshooters, 2 Thorn Beasts. And I want to make sure I have units that I can sacrifice for that, for those guys. Yeah, 2 Combusts and 2 Thorn Beasts. So I'm going to take this one. Can also take the Dark Wisp, which is similar in a sense. This does replace itself a little better. Wow, it's not rare. It's not common that you get a pack this late where all 3 cards are certainly contenders. Cards that you might want to take. I don't think we need the 3-drop though, because we already have something like 8 3-drops that we're looking to play. I think Grandin Drone's also pretty good at being aggressive, but we don't have like rallies or ways of leveraging lots of little units. So I'm going to take the Dark Wisp here to keep the cards flowing. Alright, we'll just take the Sabotage. Alright, so we're definitely playing the Outlaws, the Ronins, the Flame Blast, Grenadin Drone. Probably playing this Temper, Apprentice, Katana, Rampage, Acolytes, Sharpshooters. Probably playing the Fighter, but I'm going to hold on to it for a second. Illuminator, Maul. Crowd Favorite is actually not that bad in this deck. Definitely playing this Rapid Shot. Slumbering Stone, probably the Cutthroat, probably the Dark Wisp. The Ranger, probably these sidearms. They're pretty good in this deck. The Thorn Beasts, Desperado, Combusts, Obsidian Golems. Oh boy. This is 33 cards that we are happy to play. Oh man. Okay, so I guess I can get rid of Temper. And well, what else are we going to cut? I don't think that Desperado is actually this good in this deck, because we don't have ways of forcing it through. So we're going to cut the Desperado. I know that seems a little strange, but I think it's fine. I think that we're just trying to get an Outlaw out there and buff it with the Acolyte, or Sharpshooter that we can buff with Acolyte. Sidearm works pretty well with a lot of these units, plus we just have 2 stashes to get them back. Geez, we need to cut a lot of things. We're not even playing the Xenon Destroyer, which I think is a pretty reasonable card in this deck. I'm really not sure what to cut. Like, do I cut the Stone Scar Maul? It's like a really good finisher. Do I cut a Smuggler Stash? Or Warbian Chieftain? Do I cut one of the units that I can sacrifice? Do I cut the Rampage? Maybe I'll cut the Rampage. We don't really need tricks. We can just use our weapons as tricks. They're not really tricks, but like use our weapons as ways of buffing our units. I think this deck wants at least 17 power. Probably actually 17 power. Just that's where we're going with this. So that would mean that I need to cut 2 more things. Judging by the mana curve, I should probably cut a 3. But I don't know what. Maybe one of the Thorn Beasts. We've got a Grenadin Drone and a Slumbering Stone and a Dark Wisp. And an Obsidian Golem. I guess that's also a good unit to sacrifice. Okay, I'm going to cut one of the Thorn Beasts. It's a pretty good card. Oh, the Luminaire is not bad to sacrifice either. And then one more. We could cut the Cutthroat if we're just really not... If we don't care about lifesteal. Maybe that's the case. Maybe we're just so aggressive we don't need lifesteal. I mean, we're already playing Bladekin Apprentice, Dark Wisp, Lithra Ranger, Obsidian Golem, and 2 Outlaws as 2-drops. I could cut one of the sidearms, that's also a possibility. But, like, it's nice having so many weapons for Smuggler's Stash. Also, sidearm on Champion of Chaos is insane. It's also pretty good on, you know, like any of my 2-drops. I don't know. It's, okay, I'll cut one of them. So I think that's what we're going with. We've got the Stone Scar banner and the monument. And let's add power. Looks like we're mostly fire. This is 9 fire sources and 8 shadow sources. Sounds about right. So I think this is what we're going to go with. So yeah, as per usual, I'll be splitting this up into the drafting portion and the games portion. So yeah, I'm going to do some rearranging here, and we'll be playing games in no time. See you in a bit.